It's one of the most beloved of Christmas carols. Without me even giving its name, I'll bet you know the words by heart. Let's listen to part of that song just for a moment now.
Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Sleep in heavenly peace. I can picture Jesus sleeping peacefully. I mean, not all the time, of course, but still, because he was surrounded by love, protected by Mary and Joseph, enveloped in the warmth of their care, I can picture him sleeping like a baby. But I wonder, with all the chaos that surrounded their lives, how did Mary and Joseph ever even fall asleep? Their lives had been turned upside down. Everything from the surprising invitation by the angel to the birth of their child in a manger to visits by shepherds and magi. My goodness, their heads had to be spinning. And how could they possibly imagine what would be next? I mean, they couldn't have predicted any of that. And now they face this unknown future without any idea of what else might be in store. How could they possibly fall asleep? I bet many of us understand. I mean, do you ever lie awake at night wishing that sleep could come, but you find yourself wrapped in anxiety and hard to slow the thinking down? Perhaps it would be this year in particular understandable if we had trouble sleeping. 1 year ago, as we faced the dawn of a new year, who could have predicted, among all the other challenges of this year, this pandemic which turned our worlds upside down also? And when we look to the future, it's clear that we don't know for sure what it will hold. And there's ultimately nothing we can do to protect ourselves from all suffering, right? I mean, we can exercise and eat well and buy security systems and make all of our plans, right? But none of that promises to shield us from all chaos or harm. But there is one thing we can learn to do. It's what Mary did. The scriptures say Mary treasured these things and reflected on them in her heart. Mary developed her interior life. She was able to slow herself down inwardly enough to reflect on all that had happened. And she took the time to do that. And as she did so, she began to realize, well, God has been there through all of that. Hasn't God? And I don't know what the future will hold, but I have every reason to trust that God will still be there. She learned that she could rest in the arms of God. So can we. Even as life swirls around us, we too can rest in the arms of God. We have a God who loves us so much that God wanted to become who we are. But not only did God do that some 2,000 years ago, God has promised to be with us always. And when we know it and when we don't, it's still true. We are never alone. God is with us always. And we too can learn to rest in God's loving presence. I know people who make time to be in that place each day. I mean, they do not fill those moments with words, nor do they go there to ask God for a bunch of favors. They go there to try to be open, to sit in heavenly peace, if possible, that they might be reminded again whose they are. They go there to be in right relationship. They go there to touch the eternal in time, to touch what is real just below the surface of all things. Of course, even the most prayerful and holy person will sometimes have sleepless nights. But when we grow spiritually, we learn to trust that even that is okay, because even that is caught up in the love of God. So, let's take a moment to rest in love now. You can simply listen, or if you prefer, sing quietly. But let us remember that we are held in the arms of love. For as we sit this time at the dawn of a new year, not knowing what it holds, we do know this. It will hold love. It will. We too can sleep in heavenly peace.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Oh, the infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep